Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., there's a ship in the sky. Not a light, not a blur on a shaky phone video. A ship, a kilometer wide, hanging in low orbit, visible from the ground in daylight. The rules: one ship. It sends no signals, it makes no demands. It does nothing at all. It just parks and waits. The question isn't what it does, it's what we do. And the honest answer is stranger than any invasion movie. Us versus the visitor. Let's run the experiment. Round 1, the arrival. Start with an uncomfortable fact. We probably don't see it coming. In 2017, the first interstellar object ever recorded passed through our solar system. Oumuamua. We discovered it 40 days after its closest approach to the sun. It was already leaving. And radar won't save us either. Military radar watches for missiles and aircraft, low, fast, and expected. Nobody's radar is pointed at deep space because until now, nothing up there was in a hurry. To be fair, we're improving. New survey telescopes now sweep the whole sky every few nights, and they're already catching interstellar visitors earlier. But every one of those systems is built on one assumption, that the visitor is a rock moving the way rocks move. A ship that can steer breaks the whole playbook. So the most realistic first contact isn't a slow approach we track for weeks. It's a Tuesday, and it's just there. Verdict: we find out when it wants us to. Round 2. The first 24 hours. Every broadcast on Earth becomes the same broadcast. Within an hour, it is the most photographed object in human history. 8 billion people, and every single camera pointed the same direction. Markets crash by lunchtime, not because anything happened, but because nobody can price a sky with a ship in it. The panic buying starts by afternoon. We know exactly how this looks. We've rehearsed it. Every religion on Earth holds an emergency meeting with itself, and simultaneously, half the internet concludes the ship is fake. Both of these happen before dinner. But here's the myth bust. Mass panic is mostly fiction. The famous 1938 War of the Worlds panic, the one where America supposedly fled to the hills over a radio play, newspapers largely invented it. Real crowds in real crises mostly don't stampede. They stand very still and they look up. Verdict: less screaming, more staring. Round 3, the plan. Surely somebody has a plan for this. Here's the fun part. No, not really. Governments keep detailed plans for nuclear war, pandemics, and asteroid strikes. There is no official first contact protocol anywhere. The closest thing that exists is a 1989 declaration written by scientists for radio signals, not ships. It's advisory. It has no authority, no budget, and no enforcement. There is no United Nations ambassador to aliens. That was a rumor once. The UN denied it, which means the job is technically still open. Instead, the real first contact race begins. Every major power wants to be the one who talks to the ship first. Whoever makes contact speaks for Earth, and nobody agreed on who that should be. So the first week isn't humanity executing a plan. It's 200 governments improvising, on live television at the same time. Verdict: there is no folder. Round 4. The conversation. Week 2. Every transmitter on Earth is pointed at the ship. We send the things scientists have always bet on. Prime numbers, the hydrogen atom, music. Ideas that should be true anywhere in the universe. The ship says nothing. Because here's the catch with universal languages. Math can prove we're intelligent. It cannot say a single thing about what we want, or what they do. And before anyone complains, consider our track record. Humpback whales are mammals, from this planet. We share a nervous system, an ocean, and a common ancestor. We've studied whale song for over 60 years. We still can't hold a conversation. Now remove the shared planet, the shared biology, the shared everything. Week 3, a telescope catches a flicker on the hull. Was it a message, a reflection, a hatch? Humanity's finest minds will argue about that flicker for the rest of their careers. The honest expectation isn't a conversation. It's decades of brilliant people arguing about the punctuation of a sentence nobody can read. Verdict: we can't even talk to whales. Round 5. The military question. Someone always asks it. Could we shoot it down? Here's the physics answer. Crossing the distance between stars takes energy control so far beyond ours that the comparison stops being military. The gap between us and them is wider than the gap between a bow and a fighter jet. Anything that can park a kilometer-wide ship in orbit has already answered the question of who would win, which is why, in reality, nobody fires a shot. Not out of restraint, out of arithmetic. Whoever shoots first makes the decision for all 8 billion of us. No general on Earth wants to own that outcome, which is strangely good news, because it means the ship's intentions are the only variable that matters, and it's the one thing we can't measure. Every telescope on Earth is pointed at it. Not one of them can measure what it wants. Verdict: defense isn't a variable, intent is. So, what actually happens? The honest timeline. Day 1. Shock. Week 1. Improvisation. Month 1. Obsession. And then the strangest phase of all, year 1. We get used to it. Humans can normalize anything. Rent is still due. The ship becomes the moon. Enormous, impossible, and ignored. But one thing changes permanently. Astronomy budgets explode. Physics enrollment triples. An entire generation of kids grows up doing homework under a ship from another star, and decides in record numbers to figure out how it works. And then one day, maybe a year in, maybe a decade, and it leaves, the same way it came, silently, without ever saying a word. We never learn why it came. We never learn what it wanted. And the not knowing outlives everyone who saw it. Because the scariest outcome was never the invasion. It's the visit that never explains itself. One ship, 1 year, 0 words. And the only thing it definitely changed is us.